to Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal. I am your host, Andrea Gebhardt. I'm a former educator turned passionate entrepreneur whose desire to create impact has never wavered. I've spent the last decade teaching, mentoring, and coaching people on how to create success in their lives and businesses with proven strategies and systems that not only bring about change, but big results. When it comes down to it, teaching is my specialty, leadership is my jam, and inspiring you to live a bigger, fuller life is what I'm all about. This podcast will give you the knowledge and tools you need to brew success in almost any area of your life. You're going to walk away each week feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to step outside your comfort zone and into the next level of who you're meant to be. Now let's get into today's episode. Want to know the number one way to get ahead right now, where we are in the world that we are living in today? It is to simply be determined and not distracted. You are either distracted or you're determined. You cannot be both. And if you could choose only one of those words to describe you, what word would you want it to be? You know, there seems to be a fine line between the people who make moves in life and those who get stuck and more than likely stay stuck. That fine line really consists of active decision-making about what it is you're going to pay attention to and the path you're going to allow your energy and focus to travel down. Today, at this moment, I'm going to ask you to take a step back and reflect on your life as it is right now. Are you driven by determination or depleted and defeated with distractions? You know, it's harder now more than ever before to stay focused, to protect your energy, to protect your mindset, your thoughts, and your beliefs because of the ridiculous volume, just the sheer volume of the world. We are met with blaring controversies, hatred, division, and predominantly fear. Our energy, if we are not careful and cautious, is being directed and influenced by external factors and forces that have zero intention of empowering you, but in fact, the quite opposite, disempowering you. So if you've noticed that you are more mentally and emotionally exhausted lately, like if you just nodded your head in agreement with that notion, there is a reason for it. It isn't because you're worn out and tired. It's because you're giving your energy away to things that don't give back to you. It's because you've become consumed by the voices of distraction in such a way that you no longer believe the thoughts you carry and the ideas that you have. You feel heavy, and things feel heavier than ever because you are actively choosing to carry the weight of the real as well as the exaggerated problems and circumstances that are not necessary. Remember that everything is a choice, and we get to choose what we allow in, and that choice can be incredibly costly. Why is this happening? Why does distraction seem to be at an all-time high? We're distracted with notifications on our phone, distracted with trending audios, viral videos, binge watching a series while the day-to-day quote-unquote episodes of our lives pass us by. You know, as I was writing out the notes for this episode, I decided to take a look at my phone. You can go to your screen time and you can see the average notifications you get for the week and for the day. And you guys, listen, okay? I consider myself to be very focused, to be very driven and determined. But you know what to say, numbers don't lie. Okay, so my average number of notifications for this past week is 243 per day. 243 notifications. That is 243 distractions in any given day. Now, I know what you want to do right now. I know you want to jump to your phone. I know you want to go look at your screen time. I know you want to see where you compare, just to kind of get an idea, whether it's 10, 243, or 1,000. It is a lot no matter what. And listen, that's 243 distractions for me in any given day, not including kids, dogs, phone calls, my bladder, and those last couple of Oreos hanging out in the pantry. Now, the question becomes, how many of those notifications actually distracted me? How many times did I stop what I was doing to pick up my phone and engage with those notifications? And oh my gosh, I'm like embarrassed to even share this. But at the end of the day, here's what I know. And here's what you need to know. Awareness is what gives us the ability to make changes. So I am now aware that on a daily average, I stop what I'm doing. I interrupt myself 99 times. What in the actual heck? And here's a crazy thing. We think our biggest distractions are our kids and the things happening around our homes and, the dogs needing in and out and whatever the case may be. But no, clearly, because 99 interruptions for me come from engaging with notifications on a teeny tiny little handheld computer that can fit in my back pocket. Like, let's think about that for a second. The power that it actually has over us and what that looks like. So if you were to if every time you picked up your phone was only worth 1 minute of time, which we know it never is, by the way, right? Because the minute you grab your phone, you're sure to be sucked into the black hole of the thumb scroll for more 10 to 15 minutes. But if it only was worth a minute of time that you're checking your phone, and it happens 99 times in a day, or even just a few times, that's 99 minutes. That is literally almost 2 hours of time wasted on checking something versus doing something, on checking something versus making progress in something. It's time that's wasted. And no wonder we feel like we never have enough time. Why we fail to make progress on important tasks and goals, and eventually why we give up. We're simply too distracted. Trust me when I say that there are many people and forces out there that want you to be distracted, because distraction breeds complacency. Distraction distracts you from your goals, your purpose, your calling, your ability to think critically, and interferes with your ability to show up big in the world. Distraction has the power to minimize your actions and keep you small. Think about it this way. When you're a mom and you have a bazillion things to do, you throw on a movie to distract your kids. When you don't want your kid to think about the painful splinter that's about to be extracted, you distract their thoughts with the splinter is about to be extracted, not distracted. You distract them with their thoughts with a silly story. When you want to redirect a child's attention, or an adult's, for what it's worth, you simply point to something in the opposite direction and make a big deal out of it. Now, distractions, as you can tell, are a form of deception, one that only has the power and the ability to deceive you. Between the noise of the world and the chaos of life, distractions are a constant, which is why we have to learn how to turn down the distractions of the world and turn up the volume on what matters most to us. So why is it that we're so easily distracted? Why is it that I pick up my phone 99 different times to do whatever clearly doesn't matter? If you think it's just because there's a lot of things out there to distract us, you're only partially right. The truth is, those who are not rooted in their purpose and in their goals are easily uprooted by distraction. Yep, you check your phone every 5 minutes because you're more concerned with what's happening around you than where you are going in your own life. You allow the emotional energy of others to interfere with your own, often disrupting your ability to make progress. It's crazy. I have to share this with you guys because, there's a lot of times when I am working that I have to physically go put my phone in another room. Like I have to work in a completely different room than my phone on my laptop when I'm writing emails, for my subscribers, when I'm putting podcast notes together, when I'm working on projects for work. I have to put my phone away because I know the distraction that it is. It's really crazy because even though I know this and even though I'm actively working on all this, it's easy to still be distracted. Hey, listen, we are human. We're never going to be able to fully eliminate the distractions in our life. We have to learn how to work in spite of them. We have to learn how to prioritize our time over them. We have to get good at that part of it because distractions are never going to go away. It's always something that we're going to encounter. And it's it's so funny because if my phone is out, it's really crazy, right? You probably experienced this too, where you're working on something and I'll be like writing and I'll finish a sentence and I'll check my phone. For what? What do I need to check my phone for? I just wrote a sentence. Is it like a reward, like a treat? Like, hey, here you go. Now you can check your phone and pop into the same social media app that you were just in like 3.5 minutes ago before you started that sentence after you ended the last one to see what? Nothing's changed. Nothing's dire. But it's so weird. But you'll be sitting there and you'll be, super deep into something. And then you'll have an idea about how you want to change something about your living room. And then off you go to the land of Pinterest searching for like design ideas, right? And then, you're sitting there working on something else a little bit later, and then you think about, somebody special in your life or a friendship or some relationship that you're in. And then you think about, wanting to find a quote because you're thinking about them. You want to send it to them in the moment. So off you go to Pinterest land again. Or, you end up, this literally happened to me tonight. One of my really good friends is getting married this weekend, and I already have an outfit planned for this wedding, yet I picked up my phone at the end of a sentence. I saw some person in a really great dress, and I was like, that's a really pretty colored dress. I think I would like to have a colored dress like that for the wedding. So off to Amazon I go. Peach dress, wedding guest, and I spend 15 minutes shopping for something I don't need, totally distracted while I'm creating a podcast episode on why you should be determined over being distracted and how it serves you. And I share all of that with you to say, thank God we are all a work in progress. And thank God we get to come here together every single week and learn and grow and make progress in who we are and how we're showing up in this world. It's so when you think about these distractions and their ability to really disrupt what you're doing, it really makes you start to pay attention to the fact that, hey, maybe that progress you're not making has nothing to do with how good you're not, but how good you're not at managing the distractions in your life. We even hide behind our distractions. We do this. If this is you, I love you. I'm just going to say it though, but we spend more time editing a reel or a TikTok, scrolling social media, shopping online, or binging the latest and greatest series than we do on our actual dreams and goals. Let's face it, the truth bomb of all truth bombs here is you can't be disappointed in the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do, or in all honesty, the work you didn't attempt. But hey, that reel you spent 45 minutes on that got 600 views and 0 business conversions, it was cool. Think about what you could have done in your business with that same level of intent and focus. Think about what you could have learned from a book or a course in that same 45 minutes. Think about the good you could have done to your body with 45 minutes of movement. You see, it's never about having the time. It's more about eliminating distractions that interrupt the time you have, and eventually, eliminating those distractions that are going to hold your dreams hostage. At this point, you should hopefully realize that your lack of progress isn't a lack of ability, talent, or skill. It's merely a lack of focus, and most importantly, a lack of determination. You see, when you're determined, you have clarity on what it is you're working to accomplish because you've made a decision that you're going to accomplish it. When you make a decision about something, you believe in it at an entirely different level, a level in which is so strong and firm that very few things have the power to get between you and that thing you are determined to do and or accomplish. When you're truly determined, there's very little room for distractions. And I'm not saying that you're not going to get caught up from time to time, but what I am saying is that if you're finding that you become more easily distracted than ever before, or fall victim to even the smallest of distractions, then the truth is that your dream or your goal isn't important enough to you to eliminate and minimize the lesser important things happening around you. Let me say that again. The truth is that your dream or goal isn't important enough to you to eliminate and minimize the lesser important things happening around you. Seriously, imagine saying things like, "Sorry, we didn't save enough money for retirement, honey. I was too distracted by 15-second videos of people dancing to cool music, pointing to colored text boxes on a screen." Or, "I know we wanted to get that dream business up and running so we could create generational wealth for our family, but Game of Thrones was just so entertaining. I was just in it." Imagine your life being the sum of your distractions versus the sum of your determination. Oof, that's a stinger. But guys, that's the reality that we're facing. The clock is ticking, and it pays no attention to whether you're spending your time distracted or spending your time determined. What comes out on the other side of the time that you have is going to be a result of the decisions that you made in regards to that matter. Be so determined to be in great shape and in great health that you aren't distracted by poor food choices and habits that will set you back. Be so determined to create success for yourself that you invest in a greater amount of time in who you need to become and the things you need to do on a daily basis than you do in the things that merely distract you from making progress. Be so determined to reach your goals that you drown out the noise of the craziness of our world and the notification pings on your phone, and turn up the volume on your ability to do big things in this world. Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to put in the time to make it happen? Are you determined to push and fight through? Are you determined to look adversity in the eye and give it a wink, fully knowing its purpose is to make you better? You see, distraction is a trap, one that is designed to impede progress, rob you of your energy, and manipulate your mind. When you're distracted, you lack purpose, conviction, and clarity. When you're determined, you are focused, intentional, and deliberate. Just comparing those two sides alone paints a picture of the kind of path you're going to walk along. One leads to something great, the other leads nowhere. Which road are you going to choose? If you're drunken with distraction and are ready to sober up, you need to reevaluate your goals. You need to redefine and or define for the first time what success looks like to you. You need to identify why you're doing what you're doing and why it matters so much to you. You need to reignite your desire fire so that you can channel that energy into something good, something meaningful, something impactful. You see, most people fall victim to distractions and are easily swayed by the emotional energy of society because they fail to stand for anything. So you know what? They fall for everything. Every news flash, every news story, every thing that just pops up captures their attention because they have zero attention focused in on their purpose, on their calling, on what they're doing, on what matters. What do you believe in? What are you fighting for? What are you determined to accomplish in the one life that you have been given? To be determined is to have an undeniable desire to accomplish something. Determination enables us to carry out our plans with strength and consistency. Determination is what separates those who do from those who don't. So I want to encourage you to choose determination over distraction, especially right now. In the time that we're in the world that we are living in, there are a lot of people who are going to fall victim to distractions because it's easier than facing the truth. There are going to be people who continue to hide behind distractions because it's easier than putting in the hard work. We're going to have people who fall victim to the emotional energy that is around them that is going to paralyze them, completely making it impossible for them to make progress in this world. But there are those of you who are different, who think different, who want to show up different and are ready for something different. And it is now that you've got to be so determined to make progress. Now that you've got to be determined to grow so that you can become the person you need to be able to fulfill that next level of your aspirations and your dreams. Right now, we have to be determined to work harder than ever before. because that is the only way that we are going to get closer to accomplishing the things that we have decided we want to accomplish. That is the only way we're going to make progress in the lives that we are currently living. Like, see, here's my thing. I never want to wake up a year from today in the same place I am. I love looking back on social media. I love looking at the memories. And the reason why, one, I love to see pictures of my kids when they were little and their little baby voices because it makes my mama heart so happy. But number two, because I always get to see the fruit of the labor. I always get to see the fruit of growth, everything from the way that I write on social to the way that I show up. I love to see the growth. Your goal should always be to be in a better place than you were the year before at this time. And there's a lot of people, you guys, who are getting sucked into distractions, and they're going to wake up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now without having made any progress. But that is not you. That is not what you're going to do, because you are now aware of how depleting distractions can be. And now you understand how important determination is, especially in a world that is heavily distracted with things that are designed to defeat them. Choose determination over distraction. Be determined to start that business. Be determined to write that book. Be determined to launch that podcast. Be determined to start that course. Get on that stage, learn those skills, become that person. Determination fuels success and distraction starves it. The choice, my friends, is up to you. Thank you for being here, for showing up for you, for your dreams, for prioritizing your growth with me here at Brewing Success. My hope for you today is that you draw a line in the sand and work to become a more determined and less distracted person. Be determined to live a better life and become a better person so that you can inspire others to do the same. After all, growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal.